Welcome back to our podcast. So this is the second episode of Builders Who Scale, the CEO Audit. And today I'm back with Michael Wachkoka, and we're going to dive deep into some of the questions that were raised in our first episode, the pilot episode. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, please feel free to check out the link of this video. Make sure that you subscribe, you comment, and raise up some of the questions that you're facing within your organization as well. So today we're going to be asking some of those questions, and Michael Wachkoka is going to address those questions.
My name is Michael Wachkoka. As Munya has alluded before, and this is our second episode, and we are still continuing with the topic controlled disruption. And in order to try to answer some of the questions that viewers and other business leaders were asking us, we decided to give it an opportunity for people to bring their questions, to maybe just read the questions, just have them, and then we try to see how we can answer to the best of our ability. The most important thing, businesses should approach controlled disruption so that they can scale their businesses.
Okay, so the first question that I have pertains to your book, Builders Who Scale. So someone asked after the first episode pertaining to controlled disruption. Can you help us unpack what that means?
Right, so controlled disruption, it is a deliberate and strategic redesigning of business models and systems to unlock sustainable scalability. We are going to find that this concept, it goes a little bit beyond the traditional approach. You're going to find the traditional approach is about leaders. Leaders, they are managing resources, they are managing people, they are managing also culture. But the controlled disruption goes beyond that, in the sense that we are making a deliberate effort, right? We are making also something that is strategic, that is long-term, and we're going to do it on a step-by-step approach. It's not a drastic one or a radical disruption.
Okay.
But what we are saying the business is to disrupt intentionally, deliberately, because if the organization would wait for market to disrupt it, it can go off the peak, and at the end of the day, it cannot achieve much results. So the controlled, it is a step-by-step. We control processes. Everything, the manager and the leader is in control of the processes. So that's how it differs from the traditional one.
Okay. So just as a follow-up question, is it more about innovation or it's more about discipline in terms of how innovation is introduced?
Yeah, so the most important thing is to find out how competent is your team. Number two, the culture in the organization. So you're going to find, is your question, you're going to find that it's not just about discipline, because you're going to find without controlled disruption, companies have been already making profits, right? They've been managing their resources, they're managing their teams, they've been managing very well. That one, it's also discipline.
Okay.
And that discipline, again, it leads to profitability on its own. But now this one, it goes beyond discipline, because we are saying, let's change the way we do things. But in changing, the reason why we are doing that, we want to unlock new value in the business. But the value is automatically in the business, but how do we unlock it? Because it's from existing resources, existing teams, existing in a framework. So we just need to tap, and once we tap that, we unlock new value. And the new value, that's fresh money, which the shareholders definitely want. And also the CEOs would want that, because they get compensation,
yes,
bonuses, pay rise.
Everyone loves that.
Everyone loves that. So at the end of the day, that's what we are talking about.
So I guess I have to ask you, why now? What has changed in the market? What has changed in the business landscape that requires CEOs to implement controlled disruption?
That's very true. So you're going to find that in most businesses, they have what we call market-driven advantage, right? A market-driven advantage, or I might call it borrowed advantage. I can call it again artificial success. I want to give an example. this market-driven advantage is whereby a business has been running, right? It has been operating and everything, and then the Federal Reserve then increases interest rates. So because the business has been existing, what is going to do?
There's volatility in
is
the market.
yes, in the market. But because of that now, because the interest rates have gone up, the business will increase the cost of production because they've automatically increased by that increase in federal interest.
Okay.
So they're going to increase their cost of production, let's say by 5%. Then when it comes to the final product, they are going to add markup because the principle of business is cost plus markup is equals to selling price. So now the cost, now they've increased the production cost. Now as they put their markup now, instead of benefiting that from 5%, they're going to charge the 10%. So there is a profit margin that has been pushed because on cost of production is 5%, but on the profitability on the pricing, they put 10%. So there is an upward variation of about 5%. So in doing that, the business is enjoying market-driven advantage or borrowed advantage or artificial success, which is automatically different from the controlled. Controlled disruption, whether there's market-driven advantages, whether there's borrowed advantage, the controlled disruption, you are benefiting the organization without the macro external environment, which is the increase in interest rates and everything, because we are controlling things. But as we are controlling, we want to unlock new value in the businesses. So at the end of the day, the major thing is let's unlock value, because once we unlock value, it's going to increase. It can be also augmented by the market-driven, because everyone in the economy wants its market-driven advantage. Everyone gets advantages. But now, remember, last time we discussed about the differences between growth and also scalability.
Yes.
And we said growth can be just of market-driven advantage. Then you have that positive. But in terms of scalability, now you're going to maximize the level of revenue and eventually the level of profitability.
So in other words, are we saying that we are reacting to volatility or the inefficiencies that have already existed in the market?
Yeah, I would want to say maybe we are reacting to volatility of our own. Not of the market.
In-house volatility.
Our in-house now. Because the external one, it's whereby we are forced to react because we are operating in the United States as a business. Any change in terms of Federal Reserve and the measures, the monetary policy, whatever, they're going to affect. But this one controlled now, it's our own in-house volatility that a CEO has put in place. Within the next 6 months, we need to come out with a new product. And we are saying in our minds, it's volatile. So I must take, so is pushed by in-house volatility that allows you now to implement the controlled disruption.
In our last podcast, we talked about soft innovation, but how does it differ from the innovation that CEOs are implementing right now? Is there a difference between what they're doing right now and what we are talking about in this podcast?
Right. I think maybe before I answer that, I want to tie the controlled disruption and the soft innovation. Right. These are two dual innovation engines, right? So the first one, controlled disruption, I put it as a framework. Let's say we want to build a tarred road from, let's say, DC to Maryland. So the controlled disruption, it's more like putting a framework and everything. Now the soft innovation now comes in improving the road that we've paved from DC to Maryland.
So are you saying soft innovation goes beyond?
Yes. So in other words, it's more like further processing, continuous improvement. Now I want to get back now to your question, right? So you're going to find that now on the soft innovation now, the difference is that most people, they talk about the innovation we call it hard innovation.
What is hard innovation?
Right. Hard innovation, it is when the organization, in most cases, they have to have huge capital reserves. They're going to spend a lot of money. They want to come up with a technology. They want to come up with an application. So they're going to spend a lot of money in research and development. and market research. So there are a number of things that's involved so that they come out before you see a technology news out and everything in the market.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff that would have gone behind the scenes.
The months and years.
Months, sometimes years. It can go depending with the nature of the product or nature of a service that is being implemented. So because of that one, now it is going to involve a lot of money.
Okay.
And then they're gonna go through stages of minimum viable product. They validate. They go until it gets to the final product. But with soft innovation, little money is needed.
Okay.
Little cost of production, because the reason is soft innovation is saying we are having this as a product, A as a product. For example, like this A product, how can we have the competitive advantage of A as a product? I want to give an example. Maybe let's try to have, let's say a company, an insurance company is charging subscriptions, let's say of $20, right? It could be life insurance.
Yes.
Yeah, we have now companies, maybe it could be the Primerica and all other companies, just to quote for explanation purposes. So if we're charging $20 per month, so what we're going to do with soft innovation, we want to improve the processes. But as we improve the processes, remember, we want to improve the revenue, the amount of income that the business gets monthly or either yearly. So instead of charging $20 on soft innovation, they're saying, okay, why don't we increase from $20 to $30 as a subscription? Now, in doing that, they're going to improve the features or the services that they've offered in order to justify an additional $10.
Okay.
Now, when they increase that $10, remember, can you see? That's a product improvement, product modification. And then it becomes more like a new product.
Because there's value addition.
There's value addition now that is being put right. So in addition, now we have improved the processes. As we improve the processes, that's a justification on its own to increase revenue.
Okay.
Now, when you put it in this way, instead of generating $20 in subscription, now the business gets $30. So there's a $10 additional, which is a profit of what we have been doing. Remember, we have not invested in research and development. We have not used large tracts of money, but we've just used the existing product and we've unlocked new value.
Okay. All right. So you did touch on budgets, like if a company has a huge budget for hard innovation or for soft innovation.
Yes.
So some executives might say that we don't have a budget to employ soft innovation. Can soft innovation exist without large capital investments?
But yeah, I think as I've alluded before, you're going to find that it is the easiest. That's why we have been, you know what? I've been invited to speak on CEO platform because of these things.
Yeah, oh yes.
So the interesting thing is that, especially board of directors, they want to hear about this because they know if they CEOs and leaders unlock new value, they get more money. Shareholders, they want return on investment. So it's not just going to solve the increase in profit level, it's going to take a return on investment, and also eventually we are talking of earnings per share. They also go up, which earnings per share is every shareholder waiting. What is our EPS? You know. So at the end of the day, it can be done even if without a budget. Actually, for big companies, they can actually make this a scalable activity when they can have a combination of soft innovation and hard innovation, and then they fuse it together, and then you can get much profitability that leads to scalability.
Okay, so we're going to focus on soft innovation because that's what the executives need for them to increase their earnings per share. For a company, how long does it take for them to soft innovation? How long does it take? Does it take 8 months? Does it take 2 years? Does it take 5 years?
That's a good one. I think in the book, right, that I presented, the Build As You Scale, as you can see, right, I said now, the best principle is you can't go for 6 to 8 months without coming with a new product. I know when I talk about this one, people say, oh, is that possible? Or is something that, theoretically, but it's not practically proven?
Yes.
Right? So you're going to find now, let me put it this way. You're going to find that according to, when I was doing my MBA, I was doing a module called marketing. There is a marketing guru called Philip Kotler. Yes. So Philip Kotler now defined a new product as so he defined them into about 3 types. He talks about coming up with a new product that has never existed.
Yes.
Right. And then he talked about new product as a product modification, which means, yes, you're right, which means it's existing, but what we're going to do, we're going to play with it either on the product features, either on labeling, either in container size, whatever, alteration that we can have.
Differentiate the product
from the market.
And value addition also.
And value addition as well. Because when doing that, you're going to have value addition. So he said, once we do that, it becomes a new product. And then you also talk about once it becomes a new product now, so which means now it makes now the work of a CEO much, much easier, because now we are saying for the product that we have, remember, I normally call it, people who follow me on LinkedIn, I normally call it fresh money. Ability to provide fresh money, because we call it old money. In a way, old money is like the money that we have been receiving all along and everything. But fresh, we are unlocking new value. And this new value now, since we are unlocking it, at the end of the day, is gonna lead us to high profits and also scalable. Okay. So, because at the end of the day, so which means, back to your question, it is possible, yes, 6 to 8 months, we can generate a new product. The moment we modify, the moment we add some features to that product that was existing, but because we've added up, it becomes a new product. So, in a nutshell, it is very possible to come up with a new product within 6 to 8 months. Actually, when you disrupt in a very controlled way, it's very easy to tap into this and come up with a new product.
Okay. So the basis of this podcast is for us to help CEOs implement the strategies and the frameworks that we come up with. So we don't want it to be more theoretical, but more practical.
That's true.
What are some of the ways that that a CEO can implement some of the things that you're saying right now, let's say in their company tomorrow? Like how best can they implement this frameworks?
Yeah, so you're going to find that we have done this before. Being invited to captains of industry is one of the questions that people would ask. Okay, is this theoretical? How best can you improve? Or is one of those theories, they just come up and say, oh, there's a control disruption together with soft innovation. These are dual engines that provide and propel profits up. You're going to find that this is one of the easiest way of implementing. It's very practical in the sense that I remember I just gave an example of an insurance company charging subscription per month. That was another example. Maybe just a recap of that. I said before, an insurance company charges a subscription of $20
yes.
per month, right, per person. So if it charges $20 per month per person, which means if they have a high number of subscribers, let's say 1 million, so what it means automatically is going to increase a lot of money. But since it's a game of competition, there are a low number of insurance companies also aiming for that profit, because the principle of profit is that in any industry, once profit is there, companies, they come and try to attack. New companies will come on board, there'll be competition. So in order for you to increase your profitability levels, you move it from $20. You send it on $30, right? But as I said, there should be always a justification for a new price, an additional price, as you say, right? So because of that one now, once you do that, we've applied already. Maybe let me give another example. A restaurant, there's what we call upselling, right? A restaurant is charging, let's say, it is a maybe they're providing juice, and then there's a burger on top, right? So maybe they are charging $10 for that, right?
For the combo.
For the combo. Good. That's a good word. Combo, right? For the combo, $10, right? So for the combo now, then they said, okay, fine. For this one, since it's $10 for a combo, what we're going to do, we want to unlock fresh money, as they have said, new value.
New value.
Right. So what we're going to do on this combo, right? Why don't we add another? There was now juice and burger, 2 items for $10. Then what they're going to do, they're going to add a little bit of maybe some chips or a little bit of something.
Yes.
Because they want to increase the value from 10 to maybe $15.
Okay.
There must be justification. And once they do that, we've also unlocked the additional $5. And then they're going to promote it. So in doing that, new money is being unlocked. New value is being unlocked. So this is very practical, as I've alluded before and I've said before. So for each and every leader, executive you're watching, this Builders Who Scale, CEO Audit, it's very easy. Implement this right away. If you cannot also follow us as you learn more, bring some questions. If you need assistance in implementation, we are already here. We work with CEOs globally in the US, and we can help each other. What we want at the end of the day, we don't want to wait for market-driven advantages.
Yes.
Or we don't want to wait for borrowed advantages. We don't want to wait also what we call artificial success. It's more like we are just taking advantage. What about the macro external environment factors are not to our advantage?
That we can capitalize on.
We can capitalize, but we need to capitalize on that and also adding the control disruption and soft innovation. So thank you for your question, and thank you. It was quite an informative. I believe people will have 1 or 2 ways to that.
So we have come to the end of episode number 2. Thank you very much for watching, and we want to say thank you to everyone who has contributed questions. We highly encourage you to raise up those questions so that we can discuss them in our upcoming episodes. Podcast. I'm just going to leave it to my co-host, Michael.
I want to thank people. I want to thank you for bringing in some questions, and I also want to thank you, Munya, for good work. And we encourage you to share, like, and bring more questions, because remember, you are a builder, regardless of your level, regardless of your leadership position. You are a builder, and the builder must scale. But for this to scale, remember, it is CEO Audit. As we audit, we help each other scale that business, improve profits, high profitability, and high return on investment to shareholders and also to stakeholders. Thank you. Have a good day.